if you show that people are not going to be able to get away with it, that you're going to, and a lot of people have been arrested for these in these riots, if they are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, perhaps it'll make other people think twice before going out and doing the same thing.
Welcome to the Debriefs, where we talk about the top political news this week from our esteemed colleagues here at Washington Examiner. I'm Amy DeLaura in for Sarah Bedford, and we're here today with Hugo Gurdon, the editor-in-chief here at Washington Examiner. So the LA riots going on for almost a week now, and this isn't new, though, seeing this type of violence in LA. We saw it for all of the anti-Semitic, pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas protests. I mean, this is not something new for this city.
No, it certainly isn't new, Amy. And in fact, it isn't. Street violence is not new to America. It's nearly 6 decades since H. Rap Brown, back in the Black Power days, described violence as being as American as cherry pie. Back in 1992, there were more than 30 people killed in Los Angeles in the riots that followed the verdict in the Rodney King case. I think that people need to realize that there are always going to be a number of people who are ready to go out onto the streets, and they can easily be stirred up. And in this case, the involvement of the SIEU, the white collar union. There's a lot of organization to this, and now, of course, we've seen the riots spread all over the country. I think that there's don't know how many cities it is in now, but anyway, violence, street violence, is very much part of left-wing politics, and we've seen it for decade after decade after decade.
And President Trump, he was elected to do just this, to stop illegal immigration,
right,
to do these deportations. He's actually 21 points up. People are happy with what he's doing.
Right.
So why is this fight from the left actually a good thing for Trump?
Well, Trump, the one thing that the left says about this, where they're right, is that he wants the fight. As you say, he's 21 points better off on immigration policy now than he was in his first term. He was elected in November last year because of Biden's absolutely shambolic, chaotic failure on immigration policy. Of the 15.5 million illegal immigrants estimated to be in the country, about 5.5 million are estimated to have come in during Biden's term. It was the greatest failure on immigration.
But the border wasn't open, you know?
Yeah, exactly, yes, the secure border. So people voted for the immigration policy. It happens to be President Trump's most popular policy, is immigration. So when there is a fight between him and the Democrats on immigration, he gains, they lose. They look like they are in the position of, and indeed this is an accurate description, they are supporting murderers, rapists, and obviously street mayhem. People like Gavin Newsom, people like Karen Bass in Los Angeles, they have been out actually blaming Trump for the violence rather than blaming the people on the streets. So, this makes Trump look very good. Also, you have to remember that crackdown by the security forces has a deterrent effect, or that is the idea that it has a deterrent effect. If you show that people are not going to be able to get away with it, that you're going to, and a lot of people have been arrested for these in these riots, if they are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, perhaps it'll make other people think twice before going out and doing the same thing.
And you mentioned some of these people blaming Trump. It is kind of interesting to think about how this is going to impact kind of the special elections coming up in November. Do you think if this had happened a little closer to November, or just happening now, will be in people's memories? I mean, I know maybe it's too far away from November.
I don't think it is too far away. I think that incidents of this sort that we've been seeing in Los Angeles, as you say, for nearly a week, and in other cities more recently, stays in people's minds. America. It is an extraordinary thing that has happened here, because once again the Democrats have sided against the 80% or so of Americans who very much want to see order in the streets. They've taken an issue on which the country is lopsidedly divided and taken the minority side. And I don't mean by that the racial minority side, I mean the minority of Americans.
All right. One of the things I find most ironic is the people protesting are saying, like, we're Americans, we want to stay here. But then they're waving, like, Mexican and Palestinian flags during their protests. And it's like, you're not getting your point across.
No, you're not getting your point across. And I think that the flag waving, and particularly the Palestinian flag waving that you mentioned, is very important, because what we're seeing here is very much a sort of fabricated, concocted, broadly international left-wing protest. You'll probably remember that after the World Series last year, when the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series, the celebration on the streets for that turned into riots. Police cars were torched, there were riots in the streets. The same thing happened just a couple of weeks ago in Paris, when the local soccer team won a big competition. The celebrations of the fans in Paris turned into an anti-authority riots. There is, across the Western world right now, a large number of left-wingers who want to pull Western civilization down. They want to challenge authority whenever they get the chance. They are networked
through violence.
They advise each other, they coordinate, they'll turn any gathering in the street that they can into an attack on the police and on the central authority, which is to say on the government. So what we're seeing in Los Angeles and across cities across the United States right now is another manifestation of this radical, militant, international left-wing challenge to Western civilization. And that's one of the reasons Americans don't want this. They rather like the society that they have, the civilization they have, the country that they have. They want it preserved. And that's, of course, the fight that they elected Donald Trump to win when they voted for him in November.
Absolutely. Well, if you're watching us on social media, comment down below and let us know if Trump took it too far trying to stop these protests, or if the protesters and their violence are just taking it too far. You can get more straight news, conservative views, and exclusive interviews at washingtonexaminer.com.